3 months ago, I had 1 front lever pull-up to touch. Today, I just hit 5 clean. And this video is exactly how I used volume work to get there. Alright guys, so here's the honest story. So for the beginning of this year, I didn't really seriously train any pulling. I kind of tried to maintain a certain level in front lever because I was preparing for competitions, I was preparing for FIBO and stenos and training planche and freestyle and a bunch of stuff. So I tried to keep up with my front. I would hit it here and there in my sessions, just enough to be able to put it in my combos. I mean, obviously over the years of training front lever, I did build up a little bit of a level, and I landed somewhere along the range of 1 solid pull to touch. Sometimes I could bust out like 2 pulls to like almost touch, but that was kind of where I was at. So summer comes and goes, I compete in FIBO, stenos, a bunch of other comps, and then I remember I'm in Paris, it's August, I'm training with friends, everyone's super strong in France, and I'm like looking at my front lever level, and I'm like, bro, I want more. Like, I can't just be like, oh, 1 pull to touch, 2 pulls to touch, just like front lever like an afterthought. I was like, dude, I want to get good at front lever. And so I set a goal for myself. 5 front lever pull-ups to touch, okay? With an 8 or 9 out of 10 form and execution. So the mission was simple. From 1 pull-up to touch to 5 pull-ups to touch. And given everything that I had done last year to increase my planche push-up and my planche presses and stuff, I knew what was needed. Volume work. Now, before we do anything, let us first define volume, because a lot of people don't quite understand the word. So, volume is the number. It's basically how much you can do. If it's an isometric, then it's a number of seconds, and if it's like a dynamic power skill, like front lever pull-ups, it's the number of reps that you can do. And volume work is the work necessary that you need to do to increase your volume. So I specifically set a goal for myself to hit 5 front lever pull-ups to touch, because I feel like ending your pulling set or combo with a touch is like the ultimate mark of pull mastery. It's kind of like when you see someone do like planche push-ups, if they end it with a hold and a press, then you know that they have those planche push-ups. They're not just like fluking it with momentum or technique or whatever. It's like proper control. Now for me to get from where I was at to be able to hit 5 front lever pull-ups to touch, I had to increase my volume in 3 different areas. So first, I had to increase my front lever pull-up strength. Basically, how many front lever pull-ups could I do? 2, I had to increase my pull to touch strength. That last brutally heavy part of the rep where most people fail. And 3, I had to increase my strength in the touch itself, being able to hold it clean, horizontally for at least 3 seconds. That was like the 3 components of what I was trying to do, and if any of those was weak, the whole thing wouldn't work out. Now here's where it starts to get a little tricky, okay? So form is a measure of intensity. So if you do really good form, your set is gonna be intense. Volume is a measure of intensity. If you do a lot of volume, your set or your training is gonna be intense. Now, doing a lot of volume with super strict form at the same time, that is probably the most intense thing you can do. But if your ceiling is like 1 or 2 reps with super strict form, it's extremely hard to increase those reps if you keep your form super strict. It's just hard to build numbers that way. So the key of this volume work is to compromise your form just enough so that you can get your numbers up, and then you clean your form back up. So you kind of have to sacrifice intensity in one area so you can increase it in another, and then come back and bring them all together. Does that make sense? So for week 1, this is gonna be the goal. This week, I'm gonna let go my form and execution. I'm gonna let it go down, like all the way down to a 4 out of 10. I would say 3 out of 10 is right around the range where
the form deteriorates so much that you can a little bit injure yourself. So we're not gonna go down to 3 out of 10. We're gonna try to keep it at 4 out of 10. But I think that's how I'm gonna attack the front lever first. I just wanna build my volume in pull-ups. So that's the work this week.
So at the beginning, I just did what I thought I needed to do, which was ugly form front lever pull-ups. And they did help me. Like, they helped me build a lot of just basic brute pulling strength. But over the course of like a week or two, I realized something pretty quickly. My activation was breaking. Like, I was kipping, I was losing the engagement in my hips, the tension in my body, and it just felt like, okay, like I was getting stronger at like raw dog just pulling, but doing very ugly form like kipping stuff wasn't necessarily like helping my body get closer to my goal. It was actually teaching me too much how to cheat the reps, and I was getting like too far on the side of volume. And I didn't need to go that far. Like, I had built enough brute strength, and now I needed to start to find like more efficient ways to keep myself a little cleaner to good form, but still keep the reps going up. And that's when I started to play around more with inclination. So inclination is a way to like compromise your form without breaking the activation too much. So whenever my feet drifted up a little, the reps just became a little bit easier because the lever got shorter, but the activation stayed a lot closer to what the end goal was. So in that phase, I feel like inclination started to become my main way of like compromising my form to keep like the volume going up. And with the touch, it was definitely the same thing. Like, when I was close but not strong enough, I touched with my feet a little high. It's just something that was happening instinctively. But it made me also realize like I had to strengthen the touch position itself. If I did 5 pull-ups to touch in a slash like that with my feet up, it wasn't really gonna count. So that meant I had to do a lot of micro pull-ups, a lot of touch raises and negatives, and some band assisted touches and a bunch of little drills like that. So along the way, I was testing a lot. Like, every few weeks I would test. Sometimes, dude, every sesh or other sesh I would test. And I could see it was working. Like, I went from 2 to 3, then I instantly tried 4, wasn't even close. So I had to go back and work on some other stuff. All right, so I remember distinctly the day where I hit 4 front lever pull-ups to touch. That's when I knew that, okay, I don't necessarily need to keep doing this raw dog, like bad form pull-ups just to increase my strength. I needed to start to find ways to keep getting my reps up, but keep things as clean as I can and as close to the good activation as I can, but giving myself enough space to keep increasing my reps. So that's where my drop set system came in. So I used 3 variations of drop sets. One was clean reps until I started to get tired, then I would incline. So basically start really strict, then naturally incline as you fatigue. The second was full range of motion pull-ups, like hit clean full range of motion reps, and then like the range of motion got more and more partial as the set went up. And with that, I was able to work my way up to like 6, 7, 8, even 9 pull-ups, like the 8th and 9th being like very partial range of motion. And finally, I would hit full front lever pull-ups. And then as I got tired, I would go to easier and easier progressions that were as close as possible to the full. So usually like super advanced tuck to like slightly advanced tuck. I feel like at that stage, those drop sets really helped to help me keep building strength with good activation and getting my numbers up. In parallel to that, I kept working on my touch. My touch holds, my touch raises and negatives, micro pulls and touch. I kept doing those things. And also, very important, I kept working on strict like 1 pull to touch. Sometimes I do even sets that was like 1 pull to touch, come down, 1 pull to touch again. A few other things that I did was I used weighted front lever pull-ups and band resisted front lever pull-ups to really just increase my pull power, especially like to increase like my velocity and my strength when pulling. because I knew that if I wanted to hit a long set that was clean and had a lot of volume in it, everything was gonna count. Intention of speed, the velocity of the actual pull, because all of that was gonna help me conserve energy for a longer, more intense set. I also worked a lot of technique with the band where my intention was solely to just optimize the trajectory. Again, the whole goal here was to conserve energy, to have like a high velocity, a lot of power, proper trajectory, so I didn't have to waste any energy and I can put all my energy into the actual set that I'm trying to do. And of course, the progress was not linear, and I kind of got stuck at the 5 to touch mark for a while, and I had a lot of like little work to do.
Whenever I try to be like straight, I like can't touch, and whenever I go high legs a little bit, I can touch, but we're almost there.
So like everything in calisthenics, it was a lot of ups and downs, but sometimes, you know, you put a lot of stress on the system, you're trying to learn something new, and the best you can do at certain moments is just let your body adapt. I feel like that phase where I got stuck between 4 to touch and 5 to touch is because I had a lot of stuff still to work on. Like my 4 to touch was good, but it was still a little slash, like feet up. And I knew that even if I did hit 5 to touch and my feet were up, I don't know how I would feel about it. Like my goal was to do it like official. You know, I didn't want to fluke it. I didn't want to like cheat it. I wanted to really get there. That was my goal. So I feel like during that phase, I really locked in on working on every part of the movement. I knew I still had to fix my touch a little bit more. I knew I really needed to let go of some of these habits that I built to help myself get the volume up and like clean them up, really get a little more strict on my inclination and stuff like that. See, at the beginning, I feel like your body uses shortcuts, like inclination, partial reps, little tweaks that make the reps possible. But as you get stronger, the goal is to clean up these shortcuts so that they don't look like tricks anymore and they actually become efficiency. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about velocity, trajectory, the way you grip the bar, your speed improves, your confidence improves, and your ability to produce force through the whole line and through these trajectories becomes automatic. And that's actually like the goal of volume work, is to just optimize everything so much that there's no wasted strength, no wasted energy at all, and you can direct all the energy in the right way so that you can achieve the thing. All right, and now after it's been like over 12 weeks, I think it's been 13 weeks since I like set the goal for myself. Today, we are gonna go outside and we are gonna give it the final test. I feel like I'm there. I've been really close these past 2 weeks. I've been trying 5 to touch over and over, and I've been working like all the minor details in parallel. And I told myself today, you know, I was gonna get everything ready in the garden and we were gonna give it a shot. So let's go outside and do that.
All right, gang, you might be asking yourself, what in God's name is Nikki doing on a rower? Let me tell you something, bro. Rowing is probably one of my favorite ways to activate for a pull session. It uses a lot of the same muscles as you do for front lever, especially for front lever pull-ups. Also, for you guys who've been following me for a while, you know how big I am on trying to stay lean if you want to perform calisthenics at an elite level. And this is a fantastic way to burn calories as well as warm up your front lever muscles. So I was pretty stoked when they reached out to me from Walking Pad, but I was a little skeptical too, because I definitely don't have space for like big bulky items at the house. But when they showed me this thing, I was amazed. It comes in a cube. Little cube that you could fit anywhere. You just unfold it when you want to row, fill it up with water, strap in, get started. When you're done, you just fold it back up and roll it away. And it's made out of like really good material, not just like cheap plastic. So I'm actually happy to have this thing at the house, part of the home gym. Highly recommended. If you guys want to check out Walking Pad's tri-foldable rowing machine, check the link in my description. I'm gonna finish these rows and then let's go test this front lever. All right, gang, here's the deal. I'm gonna do one front lever pull up to touch just to really like get the whole system firing, and then I'm just gonna go for it. Oh yeah, that feels good. Yes, dude, what? 5 to touch. Let's go for that. Come on. Yes, dude, yes.
Alright guys, so I completely forgot to make an outro for the video earlier. I was just super excited. But the most important thing I wanted to say in this video, I did not just want to talk to you about the principle of volume work. That's something that I've done before in other videos and at length in my ebook. What I wanted to do today was show you guys exactly how I used that principle in my training and how it evolved and adapted over the course of 12 to 13 weeks to give us the result we wanted, which was 5 front lever pull-ups to touch. I'm really proud of myself. I feel like I did it in a relatively short amount of time, and I feel like I did it safely, which is the most important thing. So if you guys like this way of thinking or training, I'm actually really excited to announce to you that I am coming up with a very special program. It's going to be very limited the first time around, but it's a live coaching program where I take a select few qualified calisthenics athletes that already have their foot through the door, that are already training on their skills, and basically not just teach you about these principles, but teach you exactly how you can use those principles in your training, with your body, your lifestyle, your training program, your nervous system, so that you can achieve the skills you want to achieve. So I'm really, really excited about it. I've been working on it for like months, thinking about it all year, really. And it's finally coming together. I'm still cooking it up, but I'm gonna announce it very shortly on the channel. If you already feel like, yo, this resonates with me, like I'm interested in something like that, make sure to send me a DM on Instagram so I make sure you get all the details. But yeah, I'm coming up with that. I'm really excited. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's anything else you want me to cover, let me know. I hope you got motivation and whatever knowledge and whatever you were looking for in this video. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.